All right, we ready? Start out with a couple of remarks and I'll take your questions. First of all, congratulations to Coach Bohannon and his team. Very, very well coached outfit. They had answers, really in all three phases. I thought they did a tremendous job in preparation. Good football players. You can see their speed on defense. Made it difficult for us to get to the perimeter. Their girth inside, those two inside guys were probably better than we even thought they were on film. And, obviously the style that they play on offense, it's going to be low scoring. It's going to be grinded out. And, they did a tremendous job putting that last drive together and converted a lot of third downs and a lot of fourth downs on that drive. And I think that speaks to their maturity and just a lot of respect for the way they played the game today. So with that, I'll take questions.
Yeah, you just talked about the first drive of the game, last drive of the game. They were, mirror images almost. For
Kennesaw? Yeah, well, they do what they do, and they stick to it and they believe in it. And I thought it took us a minute maybe to figure out kind of the speed of the game and how some of those blocks were going to develop and how to fit some of the things that they do. And but you can see they check at the line every time. So, we're trying to stem and give them different looks that maybe take away what their first option is. But the quarterback, I think, in this system, Chandler Burks did a tremendous job of getting them into the right play, whether we were, pinching and trying to force the ball outside or whether we were playing in our overhangs to try to take the perimeter away. They always have a counterpunch, and that's the beauty of this style of offense, especially when it's operated at the type of level that it was today by them.
Good on third down. The rest of the game, not on those two drives. Why do you think that is?
Well, I just think, some of it, obviously, I talk about the first drive. I think that's us kind of, as much as you practice it, we only got 3 days to prepare. And so as good a look as we can get in practice, you're still not going to be able to truly simulate it. And then on the last drive, I think, we played 74 snaps of defense, and a lot of it's grinding and physical style. We had our opportunities on third downs and fourth downs, and I think that's where the Burks kids stepped up and made some plays. We didn't plaster in some situations. We missed a couple tackles, and, they made plays. That's the bottom line. And, I'd prefer to credit them and say, hey, good job by you guys. And I thought we put ourselves in a position to win the game defensively. We were not able to take the ball away. That was certainly one thing that I think could have benefited us, but we swelled up in the red zone and played good red zone defense and forced some field goal attempts, and they operated very well in those.
Fourth and sixth in particular, looked like you had two guys right there.
Well, we had him on third down backed up. Michael had the quarterback in his sights, and he scrambled out and got the ball out and converted that third down that would have been a huge, field position swing for us because they were going to be kicking out of the shadow of their goalpost. And so that was one. And then obviously the fourth down, gets out of the pocket, floats the ball over the top of our flat defender, and then we miss a couple tackles. Guys are trying. They're busting their tail to get there. And it was a heck of a cut by that B-back on that, and he converted the first down.
How about just the play of your interior guys up front defensively, Tucker maybe in particular? You guys seem to really answer well.
Tucker, Elu, Tyrone's been out for a week and a half and came in and played and made some really significant plays for us in the game. And those guys were as advertised. They played very, very well against a challenging style, but unfortunately it wasn't quite enough.
146 rush yards, but do you feel like you did a pretty decent job against them?
It's about scoring, and certainly if we hold a team to 16 points, you'd like to think that we'd have an opportunity, but we knew what we were getting into. You can't, you play these guys this late in the season. It's not like you can go to fall camp and prepare for it in fall camp and then play it this late in the year. So really, with the 3 days of preparation, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice, I thought our guys did a nice job of understanding what we were trying to do and going out and executing it to the best of their ability.
You ran some shotgun in the second quarter, which led to a field goal there. How did maybe that kind of, did you have to adjust to that?
No, we had some checks into each one of our calls that would allow us to play coverage appropriately, and we knew that was something that they do. It wasn't anything that was a surprise to us. Throughout series or for a series, mostly in the second half, they'll come out and they'll get into a little bit more of an open set.
Process of declining that holding penalty there?
Yeah, well, we would have set up a 3rd and 8. And, so at that point in time, what I had to think about was they're grinding us out here. If I give them extra downs, that's more time off the clock because they're going to bleed down that 40-second clock. And so do I want to give up the time, or do I want to take the penalty off the board and hope that we can get the stop and preserve time? And that was what I was concerned about. I wanted to be able to get the ball back with enough time to be able to go down and do what we would have to do based on the scoring margin, whether they were held to a field goal or whether they got in the end zone. And so that was really my decision there, was to not give them that extra 40 seconds to bleed off the clock, knowing that they, at that point in time in the game, they were kind of grinding out 3-4 yards of carry and putting themselves in positions to convert. And if we could jump a gap and make a play like we'd done a couple times during the course of the game, it might give us an opportunity to get off the field and have a little bit more time for our offense.
Field position for you guys with the punting unit, especially Logan making some big plays.
Yeah.
You like what you saw with Jared?
Jared did exactly the same thing he did last week, really, and really did a tremendous job for us. You look at it, averaged 40.8, but he pinned 3 inside the 20, and a couple that forced them on a long field. And you put this team on a short field, you're going to have a lot of problems. I mean, they're gonna kind of grind you out, like I said, and it's a difficult style to prepare for, regardless of when it is, but particularly late in the season.
On this, but their quarterback, I think 34 carries. Just talk about his play a little bit.
Yeah, he's the guy. I mean, when they got into 3rd and 4th downs, I mean, he was going to keep the ball in his hands most of the time, and it was either that or the fullback. And so I thought we did a pretty good job of stringing things out and not giving him a lot on the perimeter, but he would duck the ball up and get your 5 yards, and it's just a maddening style to play.
How does playing a team like this out of conference now kind of get you ready for the next 2 weeks?
I don't know that there's any value in this, from the standpoint of schematically. You don't get banked reps against the style that you're going to see against Northern Arizona or Montana. I think maybe there is some similarities to Northern Arizona defensively and what these guys do. They're a high-pressure unit, and they have good team speed, and they're not an overly big unit. And so maybe there'll be some things protection-wise that we can clean up that we didn't do well in this game that can give us some banked reps on it against NAU.
And the pass that Chris threw at the end there, how can you explain sort of what happened?
I think ball just sailed. I mean, I think Kevin was open in the flat, and probably just didn't step in it, snap it off quite the way he needed to. And it needs to be a body shot in those situations, but we had a lot of other opportunities in that game too. That in the first half when we got some stops and had the ball kind of in reasonable field position, and we need to go down and at least get it in field goal range and see if we can convert and get some points, because you knew it was going to be a low-scoring game. They're not a team that gets a ton of explosives, and when they did take their shots, our secondary guys did a good job of being disciplined with their eyes and not allowing the especially number 15 to get behind them.
How tough it is playing a team like that. I think they had the ball for 40 minutes, just grinded you out from start to finish. What's it like going against a defense like that?
It's definitely very tough because you know what they're gonna do, but it's a whole different animal going out and playing against it, and they're very good at it, and it's not something that we've had a ton of experience with. I mean, the last time we played Cal Poly, which is the similar offense to that in our conference, was a couple years ago. So, most of the guys on this team haven't been a part of playing a team against a team like that.
How confident did you guys feel after only 3 days of practice?
I think we felt really confident, and I think we came in and we showed some of that on the defensive side of the ball, that we could line up and play against some of the stuff that they're going to throw at us.
Did that confidence wane at all after that 17-minute opening drive, or did you kind of expect maybe that while you're feeling each other out a little bit?
No, we knew that that's kind of the style that they were gonna run, and I mean, they're gonna get their yards. That's what they do. So we just got to come back, and we needed to come back and play a little bit better against it.
How tough is that to simulate in practice?
Extremely tough, especially with the style that they block, and it's really hard to get the perimeter cut blocks from a scout team without getting guys hurt.
Was it Willie Patterson that was the scout team quarterback this week for you guys?
They really did a really good job of running their triple option stuff, but it's still hard to simulate, especially just that quarterback taking the ball and falling forward for 4 yards every time he touches it.
Can you talk about him with 34 carries, just like you said, 4, 5, 6 yards every time, just small guy, but real tough guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what they do with the quarterback and the fullback. They're two leading rushers, getting a ton of carries every game, and we knew that they were going to do that. We knew that in short yardage they were going to either go to the fullback or the quarterback, and especially on the goal line, the quarterback keeping the ball. And I mean, they stayed true to that, and sometimes we fit it well, and other times we didn't.
Gabe, you did a pretty good job containing him.
I mean, that first opening drive was a little rough, but I mean that's just the style of their offense. I mean they're gonna run it every play, so I mean they're gonna get their yards. It's just getting off the field on those third downs is what ended up hurting us in the end there.
You were pretty good on third down the rest of the day, but not on the first drive, not on the last drive. Why do you think that was?
Who knows? Just the style. I mean, it's just the style of their offense. I mean, they're gonna give it. I mean, there was 4th and 1 there, and then 3rd and 3, and they just fall forward for those yards. I mean, it's tough to stop.
Assignment-wise, how did you think you guys held up?
I mean, assignment-wise, it's not hard for the interior D line. We just tackled the dive every time, and I mean, I thought we did an okay job of that. Apparently it wasn't good enough, but how it goes, I guess.
Can you talk about what's going through your mind on that 20 play last drive, 10 minutes, just chipping away the whole time on you guys? What's going through your mind at that moment?
At that moment, we just needed to get a stop, and that 4th down and 6 or whatever it was huge. I mean, if we would have got off there, we would have won the game. But it's just how it goes sometimes. I mean, yeah, we just had to get off on those 3rd and 4th downs. I mean, they're going to get the 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 4th and 1. We just got to get off.
Were you out there on that play, that 4th and 6?
Yeah.
Okay, it seemed like you kind of improvised that. Maybe was planning to run it first and then dump it off.
Yeah, I think he just kind of scrambled around there, made a great play. I mean, that's what he does. He scrambles around. He's a good athletic quarterback, and he just makes plays with his feet. And, we didn't, I guess we didn't plaster in there or something. We didn't plaster on that, and he just dumped it off and made a nice play. He's a good player.
Talk about how deflating that sequence was. You get them to jump, so 4th and 1 becomes 4th and 6.
Yeah.
And then that guy sticks his foot in the ground and two
Yeah.
guys fly by. Talk about.
Yeah, it's tough.
Changed in 10 seconds there, 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's tough. I thought we were getting off when I saw him scrambling around back there. I thought we had him, but, it's football. Things happen like that. I mean, it was obviously a huge momentum change. Then the kicker made a nice play and, made the field goal, and we just had to go down and win it.
Who knows? I don't know.
Is this game, what did you think of just playing a non-conference game when you guys are in the midst of a Big Sky schedule?
I don't think this game has any significance really in any schematic aspect, like Coach Choate said. They're a very good football team, that's for sure, but they have nothing to do with where we're trying to go and where we're trying to bring this program.
What would you think of their speed on defense? Did that stand out to you?
Not as much as the coaches were hyping that up, but they were fast. They were very good in physical outfit, but we just need to make plays, but they were a very good football team.
Did they blitz more than you thought they might?
Yeah, they did.
Just getting back into Big Sky, play next week. You talk about what the mindset will be as you guys, sort of press forward here.
It's tough to say. I mean, you got to get this taste out of your mouth, and then we just got to come back tomorrow, watch some film, and get ready for NAU and just prepare like it's a normal week and just do the best we can in everything we do. That's all you can do.